I'm going to say something that I thought I would never say. I downloaded Fortnite. Now, for those who don't know, Fortnite isn't just the shooter that it was years ago. They've added a new game mode, and it's a rhythm game, Fortnite Festival. Now, I'm saying new, but it's actually just Guitar Hero or Rock Band adapted for Fortnite. Now, I wasn't really planning on making a video for this. Very recently, they added Miku to the game, as well as a few Vocaloid songs, and you know what? That piqued my interest, so I figured, why not? Let's check it out. But very quickly before we get into that, let me introduce myself. Hi, my name is Jeff, or you can call me Loud Loser. I love rhythm games, and my goal here on YouTube is to get you to love them too. If you've got an idea for a video or a topic you'd like me to talk about, feel free to leave a comment down below, and I'll add it to my ever-growing list of videos that I'm working on. Anyways, let's get back to the video. So I've played my fair share of VSRGs in my lifetime. That's a vertical scrolling rhythm game. And I figured I've got a decent amount of time in Guitar Hero and Rock Band. So let's just dive right in. Hard or expert only. But I don't want to use a keyboard because that's just kind of boring. So let's make it a little interesting and use some controllers that I just have lying around. Now, if you're wondering how I set these up, it's basically all through this program, AntiMicroX. I downloaded the installer for Windows, but I'm pretty sure they have support for Mac and Linux as well. Anyways, after installing the program, if you already have the controller plugged into the computer via USB, the program should recognize it, and from there you can start mapping your keys. Basically, pressing each button will highlight which button it is, and you can go ahead and click on it and set it to trigger whichever key you like. From there, you can go into Fortnite and map your custom controls, and there you have it. You're now playing Fortnite with a custom controller. I personally didn't notice any input latency with the controllers, but the audio itself was a bit off. So after messing with the settings for about 20 minutes, I found that 40 milliseconds is just about the right spot for me. As much as I wanted to keep fine-tuning the offset, I just wanted to play the game at this point, so it's good enough for me. So the first controller I tried using was my Tasoller. That was a bit weird to set up. I mean, for 4-key, it's fine. You can set the controller to divide into 4 or 8 separate inputs. But when you're playing expert with 5-key, the zones don't really divide that evenly. So some inputs are smaller than others. Basically, here's how I had it set up for expert mode. In theory, this seemed like a good idea, but honestly, this type of controller sucks for Fortnite. Mainly because accidentally ghost tapping or pressing an extra button during holds will cause the combo to break. And this controller is extremely prone to accidentally triggering additional inputs. It was very difficult to hold any kind of combo in expert mode. And while hard mode was a little better, it still suffered from a lot of the same issues. And to activate overdrive, I've mapped space to the air sensors, so every time I wanted to activate it, I just had to lift up my hand. Overall, the Tasoller isn't that ideal, and I would recommend against using it for Fortnite. Next up is the PhoenixWan. With 7 keys available, I can map everything to this small area here, and not have to deal with any of the extra buttons on top or the turntable, even though it would be very cool to use the turntable. I don't think I can implement it in a way that would make sense in my head to play with. But basically, I mapped the 4 white keys on the bottom and the middle black key for the 5 lanes. The 2 other black keys on top are what I used for overdrive. And honestly, after a couple practice songs, this was a pretty comfortable playing experience. Like, I personally would prefer this setup over the default keyboard configuration that they have you play with, which is DFJKL. I didn't really notice any downsides to using the PhoenixWan personally. Any combo breaks were just a result of skill issues, and just not being used to the game mechanics. As much as I want to blame the charting, I'll take the L and chalk it up to lack of experience and song knowledge. Overall, the PhoenixWan or any other 2DX peripheral, I would actually recommend if that's a format that you're comfortable with. And lastly, the SVSE5. This is probably the oldest controller I have, and I'm pretty sure it's discontinued. One of the knobs is kind of messed up, unfortunately, but the buttons work fine, so for this situation, it's fine. For this setup, it was a bit weird. Obviously, for 4-key, the big 4 buttons. Simple, easy, done. Now for 5-key, I set it so the first 3 lanes are here. Lane 4 is the right FX button, and then lane 5 is the last square button. Now, I know this seems jank, right? But it works. I don't know how it works. Like it works in my head, and I was able to manage some up scores. Honestly, this might be the best controller setup for me. And I'd even pick this over using a keyboard, if we're being honest. The only thing I had trouble with was activating overdrive, which I mapped to the left FX button, but that's just a skill issue on my part. The buttons feel nice to play on, and if I remember correctly, they're just the default springs and switches that originally came with the controller. It's an interesting experience, and overall, if you have a chance to try it, please do. Like, I don't know why, it just feels satisfying to hit the notes. I can't explain it. So yeah, that's my experience playing Fortnite Festival with weird controllers. Will I continue playing it in the future? Probably not. Like, there are some good songs, but are they good enough for me to drop money for V-Bucks? I don't know about that. Oh, but you can play online with other people and use the songs that they have. I don't want to. I play rhythm games because I want to play solo. Anyways, if you're watching this video and you're highly considering buying a controller to play Fortnite Festival with, I'ma just tell you straight up, don't. Listen, look at me. Look at me. Don't do it. Like, it's not worth it. Just go play a keyboard. If you already have a controller, great. Do not waste your time and money and go out and buy one. Don't do that. Do not do that. Anyways, that's all I have. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think in a comment down below. I'm going to go uninstall Fortnite now.